Hello everyone, it's the beginning of a new year, and every year I like to go through and do a refresh to our starter deck upgrade series. So, because we have a 3-year standard, some of my deck upgrades that you may have seen on the channel are at this point pretty outdated. So, we're going to do a new series of upgrading every starter deck that is available on the on the client, but with a little bit of a twist. So with us having a 3-year standard means that next year in 2027, when all of the old sets rotate out, we're only going to have access to Foundations Forward. So as a extra restriction on upgrading these decks, I am limiting myself to only the sets from Foundations Forward and no universes beyond, just in-universe cards. So that means each of these upgrades are going to be on a budget of 15 or fewer rares, and we are going to be only using Foundations, Ether Drift, Tarkir Dragonstorm, and Edge of Eternities. No other cards are going to be considered for these upgrades. Now, bear in mind, this is just an outline for a possible deck upgrade. You can play with whatever you want to and whatever you have access to. This is just how I'm going to be approaching a forward-thinking upgrade series. So, without further ado, let's take a look at our first deck. It's a mono-white mid-range deck called Keep the Peace. So let's go take a look at it. Okay, so this is the deck that they start us out with. It's really nothing to write home about, but it is serviceable. It does what you need to do with a starter deck for someone just starting out on the game. So all of you new players, this is what you're going to be seeing when you first log on. So these initial starter decks are all alchemy cards. So the first thing we're going to be doing is transforming this into a standard deck. So before we do that, let's take a look at what we have. So we have 4 Charmed Stray, 4 Tactical Advantage, so you got a little bit of a combat trick there. We have Fencing Ace, we have Hallowed Priest, a creature that wants you to gain life to make itself bigger. We have Impassioned Orator, a creature that allows you to gain life when other creatures come into play. Moorland Inquisitor, a 2/2 that can give itself first strike. We have Pacifism. We have Angel of Vitality, a card that empowers your life gain. We also have Lane and War Leader. Pretty decent card. Unfortunately, we don't really have a good variation of this in Standard. And then we have a bunch of one-ofs here. We have Bond of Discipline. We have Confront the Assault, Angelic Reward, Serra Angel, Spiritual Guardian, Angelic Guardian, Inspiring Commander, and Goring Ceratops. So the top end of this deck is kind of all over the place, but from what we can surmise from this deck is that this deck cares about keeping you alive with a little bit of life gain long enough to get to your top end and then start taking over the game at that point. So let's keep that strategy in mind while we upgrade this deck. So let's go over and take a look at the budget upgrade version so far. Okay, so here we are with the upgraded version of the deck. So we kept the life gain portion of the deck, but we also added a mid-range Angels package to it. So here we have 4 Healer's Hawk, it's a 1/1 flying lifelink. We added in 3 Hinterland Sanctifier. This is in the place of like the Impassioned Orator. The Impassioned Orator is a 2/2 for 2. The Hinterland Sanctifier is a 1/2 for 1. Being only 1 mana makes it kind of a better card. So we also have 2 Lightstall Inquisitor as an early game disruptor that happens to also be an angel. We have 4 copies of Adamant Will. I wanted to bring this in as our combat trick, as for the same exact mana cost, you get that +2/+2, but you also get Indestructible as well. So if your opponent is playing a lot of destroy effects or a lot of direct damage effects to remove your creatures, you can use this to save them. Then we also have Ajani's Pridemate, getting bigger for whenever you gain life. We have Giada, Font of Hope. This is a 2/2 with flying and vigilance, and it says each other angel you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each angel you already control. And you can tap her to add a white mana that you can then use to cast an angel. So a good thing is she has vigilance as well, so you can attack with her first, and then in the second main phase, tap her to cast an angel spell. It's pretty nice. Then we've got the 3 Pacifism from the original deck. It's a pretty decent quasi-removal spell, so I decided to keep it in. Then we have 2 of the Angel Vitality that survived the cuts. We have 3 Stasis Snare. Now, I wanted to run Stasis Snare because it's another solid removal piece that happens to have Flash. The only downside to this is it can only hit creatures. It can't hit non-creature permanents, but it does have Flash, so you kind of have that back and forth there. Then we have 2 Exemplar of Light. This is a really good angel. For only 4 mana, you get a 3/3 flyer, and whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Whenever you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on this creature, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. So here's the fun thing about this, is she'll get bigger whenever you gain life and draw you a card. But because of the way that it's worded, it says, whenever you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on this creature, draw a card. That means when you cast her using Giada, she'll come in with a +1 counter even if you didn't gain life. So you can still get that card draw. So it's a nice little workaround. Then here at the top end, we have Astelli Reclaimer. This is a 5/4 with flying for 5 mana, and you can warp it in for only 3. When this creature enters, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature. So, even with the warp cost of only 3, you'll be able to get back either your Pacifism or your Stasis Snare. So, if your opponent happens to get rid of your enchantments, you can use the Astelli Reclaimer to get them back, and then get them back on the battlefield immediately. And that's either with the warp cost or her full cost at 5 mana. So it's a pretty solid card that also happens to be an angel. Then we have Lyra Dawnbringer, flying first strike lifelink for only 5 mana. It's a 5/5, and it says other angels you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. So it's a very strong top end for this deck. So if you got 1, 2 other angels on the board already, this guy's going to pump them all up and give them all lifelink, and it's just going to make your day a lot better. And then we have 2 Serra Angels to round out the deck. It's a 4/4 flying vigilance for 5 mana. Granted, it is not as good as this at rate. They both have the same exact mana cost, but this one is a lot better than the Serra Angel. But it's another angel that isn't uncommon, so it doesn't really hit against our budget too hard. And then the lands are the same at 25 planes. I'm not modifying the land bases in any way with these decks. So if you decide to further upgrade these decks, you might want to hit the mana base, but right now, we're going to stick with this. So this is the deck. It's mostly angels. You got some good removal pieces and a little bit of ramp in the form of Giada, and enough life gain to make sure that you live long enough to cast your angels. So let's go and take it out there, play a few games, and see how this deck does. Okay, opponent goes first. We have a pretty decent hand. 3 lands, so we can play anything we want. We have Hinterland Sanctifier, Ajani's Pridemate, Giada, and the Angel of Vitality. I'll keep it. Okay, Azorius. Just go plains into a Hinterland Sanctifier. Okay, plains. Youthful Valkyrie. So looks like they might be on angels as well. No attacks. No point attacking into a 1/3. So whenever you play another angel, this gets a +1/+1 counter. Okay. Well, there's an angel. Dazzling Angel, get a +1. Alright. Ooh, Stasis Snare. Alright, let's go ahead I could play Angel of Vitality now, or I could play Giada. If I play Giada right now, we could potentially get Lyra out next turn. So I'm going to play Giada right now. Pridemate goes up, attack for 4. Alright, they take the hit. Let's see what they do about my Giada. Fog Bank. Interesting. Okay. So that will take no combat damage. Good thing I have a Pacifism. Yeah, no blocks. And a Healer's Hook. Interesting. Alright, well, let's go and play that Plains. And do we play the Lyra right now, or do we play the Pacifism so we can start attacking? Let's see what they do with my attack. Okay, block with the Fog Bank. You get 2 damage going through. Cool. Alright, let's play Lyra. Now all of my angels get +1/+1 and lifelink. And this has Flying First Strike and lifelink. Stasis Snare. Nice. Good choice. Okay, coming in. Alright, let's see here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to cast Pacifism on that right now, so I can just come on through. Okay, you go to 9. And then I will play an Angel of Vitality. Empyrean Eagle. This is a straight up Flyers deck, huh? That Stasis Snare is going to be for that Empyrean Eagle then. Well, not blocking that. That's for sure. Ow. Alright, let's go here. So Stasis Snare. Targeting that. And now we're going to attack with the team. Okay, you go to 4. And now 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to hold the Pacifism in case they play something better. Another Empyrean Eagle. Okay, so they can get in for 6 total this turn. We'll see what they do. Nothing, huh? Alright, well, let's play Exemplar of Light. Hey, there we go. Alright, let's see here. Let's go. The Pacifism right there. Then we will attack for 7. Yeah, just 7. Okay, crunch that. GG. Exemplar of Light is a pretty good card. Comes in as a 6/6, draws me a card. It's pretty nice. Okay, voting goes first. We have 3 planes, Healer's Hawk, Hinterland Sanctifier, Pacifism, and Angel of Vitality. Looks decent. I'll keep it. I really like the art on that Pacifism. That's really nice. We'll keep 7. Okay, we got Sacred Foundry. Let's go planes, and I will go Healer's Hawk. Okay, Inspiring Vantage into Razorkin Needlehead. Yeah, take a damage. Play a planes. Play Ajani's Pridemate. Attack for 1. Gain a life, +1 counter on the Pridemate. Hey, a shock for my bird. Yeah, 1 damage. Alright, let's go here. Then we'll go Hinterland Sanctifier. And we're going to pacify the Razorfin Needlehead and attack for 3. Temple of Triumph. Okay, they get to scry 1. They like what they see, though. Alright, my turn. Another pacify. Alright, cool. Let's go here. Let's go Angel. Comes in, gain 2 life. +1 counter. Attack with both. We got 5 cards in hand. You should be able to do something here. Ah, Day of Judgment. Yeah, that works. Okay. Stasis Snare. Okay, so rather than playing out the Astelli Reclaimer, I want to wait until I can get it out and also get a Pacifism. So I'm going to wait. Oh, what's this? We have a Stingerback Terror. Okay. Yeah, I'll take the 2. I'm not too worried about that. Alright, cool. So let's go here. Play the Astelli Reclaimer, full cost. Comes in, grabs my Pacifism, and attaches right there. I like that interaction. That's pretty nice. Split up. Okay. Blow them up. Just burn through all of your removal there. Alright, well, let's play the planes. Get that Pacifism. Alright, end the turn. Ooh, Lyra. Okay, that can come in. Pass. Alright. Stasis Snare on the Lyra Dawnbringer. Ooh, just a planes. Not good. We need some action over here. Reckless Lackey. Alright. That's going to come in, deal some damage. Okay, that's good. We'll play our own Lyra. Chainsaw. Okay. Deal 3. Can you do 2 more? Yep. Yes, you can. Very good. Take the 1. What's the equip cost? 3? Okay. Well, that would have been useful last turn. End turn. Need more creatures. Come on. Ember Challenger. Alright. Funny that they're playing multiple board wipes in a deck with so many creatures in it. Okay. Play the land. Get to scry. Okay, come on in, champ. Okay, my turn. Okay, that works. We'll wait for it, though. I want to see what they do with their turn. Alright, they're coming in. Now's the perfect time for that Stasis Snare. There we go, gobble that up. That way, they can't re-equip the chainsaw onto the Reckless Lackey, so we're only going to take 1 damage this time. Yep, now you equip. Anything else? Lyra Dawnbringer. Now we have the Adamant Will to back it up, too. 3 damage? Sure. You want to throw that last burn spell at it? Boom. Gotta love a good 2 for 1. Alright, let's go and sacrifice the land. Go get another basic out of your deck. Now, we're gonna have a chance to turn this game around. Ooh, and a Serra Angel too, nice. So we'll attack for 5. And that stinger bag is just sitting there. So nice. Alright, Serra Angel. Lyra Dawnbringer gives lifelink to all angels. That's pretty sweet. Good game, friend. Now you got me worried for a moment there. Boom. Interesting deck. Again, really strange to see so many board wipes coming out of a Boros deck with so much aggro in it. Okay, so we get to go first. We have a pretty interesting hand here. We got 3 planes, a Healer's Hawk, a Lightstall Inquisitor, a Stasis Snare, and an Astelli Reclaimer. So we'll keep it. Alright, let's go with the planes and Lightstall. It's pretty interesting with the Lightstall Inquisitor. It is a 1 mana angel. Very rare. I think this might be the only 1 mana angel in existence. Alright, let's go here. Let's go Healer's Hawk and Healer's Hawk. Alright, and you know, we will attack. See if they'll block. They won't. Yeah, I didn't think so. Dollmaker's Shop, huh? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, the Stasis Snare can only hit a creature. Okay, 3rd land. Let's see here. This creature enters, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature. So we're going to warp it. Oh, is warp not casting? I guess not. Well, we just learned something there, huh? Oh, it has to be a non-creature, non-land permanent. Okay, my bad. I guess I should probably read the cards, huh? Alright, let's go here. And let's go ahead and Stasis Snare the Hinterland Sanctifier. Okay. Well, in that case. Hey, free land. Alright, attack for 2. Cost 6 to open the other side of the door. Alright. Let's get lost again. Ow, ow. Adamant Will, okay. Let's go here. Honestly, at this point, I think we just cast the creature. Get the Stasis Snare back. Gobble that up. Attack for 1. Another Hinterland Sanctifier. Yeah, they chose not to come at me. That's nice. Alright, let's go here. I'm going to start doing this now. There we go. Alright, let's do it again. And do it again. Alright, and then we'll attack. Put him at 6. Play another Hinterland Sanctifier. And turn. Do they have the land? If they get the 6th land this turn, oh, looks like they don't, okay. Create 3 1/1 white ally creature tokens, then put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Okay, that's pretty cool. So they make 3, they gain 3 life off the Sanctifier. That's fine. I don't think they can win, though, because I have 25 health. I'll make another guy, sure. Get another. So they go to 10. I have lethal. No blocks. Yeah, so I think I just win next turn. Yep. And that was even without them knowing that I had Adamant Will in my hand. There you go. Okay. We get to go first. We have 3 planes, Ajani's Pridemate, Stasis Snare, Exemplar of Light, and Lyra Dawnbringer. It's decent. It does not have a life gain enabler, though, for the Pridemate or the Exemplar, but it might still work. So let's find out. Alright, planes go. Okay, that actually works nicely. We'll play Giada. Now, if they don't remove my Giada, we can play an Exemplar next turn. Alright, let's go planes. I'm going to attack for 2, see what they do. Okay, I take the hit, play an Exemplar of Light. Now the awesome thing about Giada and Exemplar is I still get to draw the card, even though no life was gained, because a +1 counter is put on it. Oh, it's a an allies deck. We have ourselves an Avatar Enjoyer. Okay, well, let's go here, and we're going to attack again. See if they do anything. Destroy target attacking creature. Okay, sure, it's dead. Take the 2. Play Lyra. Okay, we got a planes. Lumen class frigate. Okay, so you station it and you get your +1/+1 anthem. If it gets to 12, they get flying and lifelink. Okay. Nice, we get the Astelli Reclaimer. Let's see, what's in the graveyard? Just the Exemplar. Nothing too special. So, let's go ahead and play the Ajani's Pridemate. That still gives us enough mana to cast a Stasis Snare, if necessary. Alright, swing in. Alright. That's 6, +1 on the Pridemate. And then 3, another +1 on the Pridemate. Pretty nice. Invasion Enforcements. Okay. Bring it in. I'm not going to waste a Stasis Snare on any of that. That's 2, 4, 6, 8 though, so they can get pretty close to animating their Lumen class frigate. And if they ever do, I can just Stasis Snare it. Hinterland Sanctifier, okay. Another Hinterland Sanctifier. Alright, they go to 8. Are they going to animate? Because I think they have enough to animate now. Alright, let's go in planes. Let's see what they have. If they don't have a way to kill Lyra, then they kind of just lose. Okay, we're going to get rid of both of those so they don't gain any life. There we go. Good game. There we go. GG. You know what? I did have fun that game. Okay, opponent goes first. We have 3 planes, Healer's Hawk, Lightstall Inquisitor, and 2 Ajani's Pridemate. That's actually pretty decent, so we'll keep it. Okay, we got a Forest into a Llanowar Elves. Alright, let's go planes into Hinterland Sanctifier. Okay, Forest. That's a nice looking forest too. Pop Patch Recruit ×2. Alright, let's go here. We'll go for Johnny's Pridemate. No attacks. Adamant Cub. Alright. Another Adamant Cub. Wow. You guys are going all out, huh? Oops, all creatures over there. Alright, well, let's see here. Let's go ahead and play Healer's Hawk. And play Giada. And no attacks. At least now we have a beefy blocker. And Keeper's Talent. And it gets to fight something, right? Oh no, it puts +1 counters on things. And they're floating 4 mana now. 5. So go to level 1, 2, go all the way to level 3? Yes, they do. Vigilance and Reach and Death Touch. Well, that kind of ruins my plans, doesn't it? Adamant Will. Alright, let's go here. Well, I guess we just attack. Go next. See what they do. Okay, blocking. Adamant Will. Right, play another. And play Lightstall Inquisitor. What was that card? Azure Beastbinder. Interesting. Well, there's the island to play it. Very interesting card. Okay. 4/3 Pop Patch. Let's see. Well, you don't have any reaching blockers anymore, so we'll go next. Put him to 16. Make him think we have something. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or greater. Alright. That Beastbinder is really good. Why aren't they attacking with it, though? That's crazy. They should definitely be attacking. Because that way they could prevent my Giada from, like, attacking. Drunath. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value equal to Drunath's power, copy the spell, except the copy is not legendary. Then put a +1/+1 counter on Drunath. Okay. Ah, okay. Ward 1. Perfect. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, +1. +1. Alright. Auto pay it. Get that on there. Next. Attack, attack. Put him to 10. End turn. Soulstone Sanctuary. Okay. So the creature that they cast has to be 5. So Drunath's ability is really not ever going to trigger, is it? And every turn I'm getting further and further away from them being able to beat me. Alright. Are you going to attack ever? Probably not. Oh, nice. Another Healer's Hawk. Let's see. Let's go next. You still don't have any reach, as far as I can tell. So we'll attack like this. Alright, you go to 7. I'm at 30 health now. Play another Healer's Hawk. Gain a life. The boys get bigger. Enter. And we're just going to hold these planes in our hands, pretending that they're actually good cards. Alright, plays an island. Innkeeper's Talent, +1 counters to something. Okay. Still not as big as my Pridemates, though. Alright, you got yourself on a 2-turn clock here. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's almost enough. Alright, you go to 3. Boys get bigger. Alright, end turn. And that Adamant Will save me from any kind of shenanigans. Okay, he just plays a Badger Mole. Badger Mole Cub is not a problem. My boys are too big and you're too afraid to attack me. Yeah, sure. Make him even bigger. Okay, he's coming now. Alright, let's see here. So that's going to block there. Let's see, what's the next biggest? Let's see, that's going to block there. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage. Sure, yeah, I'll take 15. I'll take a casual 15 damage to the face. Good game. That is correct. GG. Okay, and we are back with the post-game wrap-up for this deck, and honestly, for a starter deck, this is actually pretty decent. I mean, because let's take a look at all the rares that we're running, because this deck is still pretty budget. So see here, Healer's Hawk is a common. Okay, so we got 2 rares so far. Then we have 2 more, so that's 4. Then we have 2 more, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this deck is only running 10 rares total. So this deck is still very budget friendly. Now, the deck itself operates pretty much like your basic life gain deck. You got your turn 1 being either Healer's Hawk or Hinterland Sanctifier into Ajani's Pridemate or Giada. And then from there, you are either playing like your Pacifism or your Stasis Snare, going into your Exemplar of Light, and then into your top end with your other angels. This deck, has a lot of staying power simply because of all the life that you're gaining over the course of a game, and has a very powerful top end because there's not a whole lot out there that can fight through your top end of angels. And not just the angels, but these Ajani's Pridemates, they get very big over a course of a game. It's like if you got a Hinterland Sanctifier out that just stays on the board the entire game, these guys can get into the double digits. They can get really huge. So something to think about there. But I really think the real great thing about this deck is how you can ramp into your top end fairly easily with Giada, while also keeping enough mana available for an instant speed Stasis Snare. So the deck works pretty decent. I mean, granted, it's not like the highest tier deck available, but for a budget of only 10 rares, I'm very happy with this build. So there it is. That's the deck. And I will leave a deck list in the description box down below so you can take it out for a spin yourself if you'd like. Or you can take this idea as just an outline and build upon it further. So there it is. That's the deck. And until next time, take care of yourselves.